Hello. Let's talk about Platform IO and Neovim. If you don't know about Platform IO, Platform IO is a tool which gives you a unified interface to program, test, debug, and monitor various kinds of microcontrollers and different frameworks. If you want to look at the specs, Platform IO supports over 40 plus platforms, 20 plus frameworks, 1500 plus microcontroller and development boards, and 13,000 plus libraries, which are most of them are community driven. Now, Platform IO comes with two parts. First is the Platform IO core and the Platform IO IDE. The Platform IO course provides you the CLI tool to do and perform all the Platform IO functionality. And the Platform IO IDE is just a wrapper on top of Platform IO core, and this is essentially just a VS Code extension. But the Platform IO IDE is pretty cool. It gives you a really nice interface to set up a project, look for boards, look for libraries, and then install them with just few clicks. And also it gives you a full-blown debugger, uh, which you can actually look it up. So if you see at the IDE, it gives you this nice debugger and this nice interface. But if you're like me who uses Neovim, we don't have that luck. Mayo kind of supports Vim, but essentially all it does is just adds a .ccls file for your language server to pick up the header files and then uh, do the auto completion. That's all. Okay, that's all we have. Now to deal with this situation, I kind of wanted something similar to Platform IO IDE, but on Neovim. So I worked on uh, this extension on Neovim, and let's check it out. Okay. Now, installation instruction of this plugin, you can look it up into the README, or you can also read the written document in my blog post. I'll link it up in the description. So let's start using it. Now, to use it, let's first of all create a new directory where we're gonna keep our project. For the demonstration purpose, I'll be using an Arduino Mega for the microcontroller board. So let's make a directory for Arduino project. Okay, and let's get inside it. Now you see currently the directory is completely empty. All you have to do is open up Neovim and then run this command called pio init. As soon as you run this command, it is gonna give you a really nice telescope picker, where you can search your microcontroller or your development board and you can select it. So right now I'm looking for Arduino Mega. I'm looking for Arduino Mega, this one, which is 2560. Okay. Now, talking about this window, the first is where you see the microcontroller or the board name. Then you have the vendor, and then you have the platform. So this platform is Atmel AVR. And you want to see more information, you can actually see more information at the JSON output at the right hand side. So I'm fine with this microcontroller. I'm gonna press enter. Now it's gonna ask you which framework you wanna develop the project in. Okay. Now Platform supports a lot of different frameworks. I can list out a few of them. Arduino is one of them, which you can see over here. It also supports ESP-IDF. It supports STM32 Cube HAL. And these are the things which I have used the most, but it supports a lot more framework, and you can actually look it up over here. So it supports 24 plus frameworks, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now here, the only framework available for Arduino Mega is Arduino, so fine, let's press enter. And then it is going to run the installation command. Now you don't have to run it, it's gonna run it for you. And the project is initialized. And now if platform if you're running it for the first time, it is going to install all the related toolchain. Now that's the cool thing about Platform IO. You don't have to worry about project setup, installing the toolchain, and then running all sort of different commands for different kind of microcontroller. A Platform IO will do everything for you. You just have to pick the board. It is going to install all the related toolchain, and it is going to also set up the project for you. So after this is done, now if you look it up, now the directory is populated with a couple of things. here you can see you have this platform IO ini file, and then you have the ccls file. Now this ccls file will be pretty helpful for us for the auto completion for the language server. And then you have the source directory. So now in the source directory, let's add a main.cpp file, and that's going to be our source code. Now I'm going to write a really simple code which is going to blink the LED, and it is going to also print out on the serial line. Now the code is written. Now if you want to compile the code and check if you have any errors, you can run this command pio run and then space build. So run this command, it is going to compile the project, and now you see I don't have any errors. Now, if you want to flash it to the microcontroller, connect to your computer, and then I will switch on to, yeah, okay, so this is the microcontroller I have. Now to flash it onto the microcontroller, just run pio run. This is the command, and press enter. Now it is going to look at and flashed. The code is flashed, and now you can see that the LED is blinking. If you want to see the serial monitor and see the output from, if you just want to open up the serial monitor, for that you run pio mon for monitor. Now, if it just run it pio mon, it is going to open up the serial monitor on the port, on the required port, and with this default, so 9600 baud rate. Okay, and this is the baud rate I have used to initialize the UART line. Run it, and there you can see it prints out the output. If you want to run the serial monitor with some other baud rate, you can just type pio mon and write the baud rate you want. So if I go with 115200, okay, and run it, it is going to open up the serial monitor at that baud rate. But actually the microcontroller is sending at 9600, so we'll go with that. Okay, that's how you can upload the code, and you can open up the serial monitor. If you want to install some external libraries, you have a command for that, so pio lib, and then you can give it any name of the library. So if you lib json, right, so you run the command, and this is going to give you the list of all the JSON libraries. You can look it up. So right now here it is the repository name, this is the owner name, and this is the description. So I can just type Arduino JSON library, and maybe if I want this one, I'm going to press enter, and it's going to install that library into my project. And that you can confirm it by looking at the ini file, and here it is. So lib dependency, that library. Okay, so that's one of the command. And now if you want to debug it, Arduino doesn't support debugging at the moment, I believe. Okay, so but if you want to open up the debugger, the GDB debugger, you just type pio debug and press enter, and it's going to open up the debugger. So that's kind of it about this extension. This is a fairly new extension I'm currently working on, and my next goal is to hopefully provide this kind of debug interface, not just the GDB, these kind of debug interface. I will highly recommend looking into the documentation for all the commands available. For that, just type the command help and platform IO. Okay, and if you do that, it's going to open up that the documentation for platform IO plugin, and there you can see all the options, which is pio init, its description, how do you use it, and the pio run command with all the options available. Then you have pio command, and then pio lib, pio mon, and then pio debug. So you have all of these commands you can look into and read their description and how do you use it. That was it for this plugin. Hopefully you liked it. Do try it out on your own computer, and if you come up with some new solution, you can let me know through GitHub issues, and if you face some problem, you can create a GitHub issue and then let me know. All right, thank you. Bye bye.